Greetings, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Today is the day that Mars rules. I am the Moon Mama. This is our Master Nodal class. And boy, things heating up. This motherfucker's starting to get really, really hot. The astrology is the astrology of destruction. It really is. It's the Sun square Mars, the Sun square Pluto, the Moon in Gemini. These energies are very intense, and the purpose of this intense energy is to purify, is to really begin to release the old trauma codes, the old codes of distortion and separation, is to begin to confront the parts of us that have been acclimated to the dark ages. And that could look like a matter of many things, right? Just the ways that we have participated in the world that has existed up till now, the ways that we have taken on those codes, behaviors, beliefs, practices, lived into them, and now that stuff is starting to come undone. Like, the world is crumbling really fast. And are you able to face it? That's what I'm dealing with myself. Can I face the things that I have created? Can I face my creations with courage, with compassion, with honesty? Can I face the things that I have, all the creations that I have created up till now, and face them with love for myself and do my best to be loving to myself and to those who are in this experience with me? So the Moon is in Gemini and the Sun is in Taurus. And so with the Sun in Taurus, it's all about value. It's about worthiness. It's literally about understanding your worth and your value. I know for me personally, that has been a great struggle in this reality for me to find my own sense of worth and value, because the things that came natural to me were not valuable in our experience or in our culture. The things that I have natural proclivities to weren't valuable in our culture. So I have spent much of my lifetime working towards a deep experience of worthiness, like feeling worthy and having to understand that my worth is intrinsic. It has nothing to do with what I have, how I look, what I do. My worth is a part of my birthright. It is a part of my birthright. And that has supported me in being able to develop the things that are important to me, to lean into the things that are important to me. It's almost like fighting for myself, fighting for me to live, fighting for me to exist, fighting for me to walk this planet as a sovereign being based upon my own codes, right? So that's Taurus. Taurus is your worthiness, your birthright and your worthiness. And the Sun is there. And so how do you express your value? How do you express that innate thing that you have? How do you express it, right? So one of the ways, our work, your home, how you set your home up, how do you express your value? And then how do you understand, how do you protect yourself also? How do you stand for yourself to protect your value, to stay true to who you are? Now, this is the thing that's such a trick right now, is that standing in our value doesn't mean standing against others. It literally is this divine experience, because oneness is all that there is. So for instance, right now I'm in an experience where I'm having a challenge with someone who's close to me, and the things that their perception is so different than mine. It is so completely different than mine. And of course it would be. And my perception is so different than theirs. But historically, I would take it personally. I would feel like, how dare they think that? I'm not saying that I don't still have those thoughts, but I understand that we are in the dark ages, that we are in a time where people's shadows are showing up, mine included, right? So for me to be in a place of taking everything personally would really hinder my own evolution. And so I'm literally riding the triggers. I literally am asking myself, how did I create this? What is this here to teach me? How can I support myself through this? And doing everything to take responsibility for it, because whatever is happening in my external world, I know that it is a projection of what's going on inside of me. I know that that is the truth. And so because I know that that is the truth, I am not blaming or making the people outside of me responsible for how I am experiencing them. I am responsible for how I am experiencing them. And it's such a fascinating thing, because the sun today is at, yesterday was at the 8th degree of Taurus, which is a Scorpio degree, which opposes Taurus. And a friend of mine and I are having a conversation, maybe someone will call it a disagreement, about my relationship to whiteness. And I literally am stunned. Like, I'm shocked, because it wouldn't even occur to me that would be a perspective. But I understand that that's their story. But the thing that's so fascinating is that their perspective is so close to my father's. My father was a man who was in a constant internal battle with white people, with a lot of and it was all justified. You know what I mean? Like, it was all justified in this country that we're in, as a black man, all of that. So I'm recognizing that I'm in this karmic conversation, because my father and I were born on the same day. He was a Virgo, so I inherited his stuff, and I'm currently witnessing someone in my life giving me the conversation that I used to hear my father say all the time. It's not the same words, but it's the same energy. And so I'm inviting myself to take responsibility for that as my creation, because I am the feminine, and it is only the feminine that can actually transform. I'm not saying a woman, I'm saying the feminine, okay? Because men and women have feminine, but the feminine is the compassion, the love, the alchemy, the capacity to take something and bring it in and alchemize it through love and compassion and acceptance and responsibility. And so rather than, reacting to this experience the way I watched my mother react to my father, or the way I watched, I literally am asking myself, what can I learn from this? What is this here to teach me? Whoo! And because we have Mars in opposition, in Leo, in opposition to Pluto, with Lilith, all of these dark emotions, these dark shadowy things are coming up, like people's darkest parts that are unfinished, that are neglected, right? So even my own, like I witness in myself a need to feel special, and that need to feel special is totally based on a childhood wound of neglect, because my needs didn't get met as a child. And so when our needs don't get met, those feelings, those empty, they still are there until they get addressed. So I'm working with giving myself what I need to feel special, not requiring anyone else to do the thing that my parents would have sealed inside of me. I'm doing that for myself. Like, we are in some of the deepest, most transformational astrology of our lifetime, as far as I'm concerned. And so the opportunity here is to take responsibility for how you feel, for the stories that are showing up, your perception. And if you are someone who has a great deal of feminine energy, right? So feminine is Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, Pisces. Those of us who carry a great deal of feminine energy are responsible for alchemizing the external world through our perception by telling a new story about it, right? And the ways that I tell a new story about it is through the lens of compassion, self-forgiveness, and understanding we are in the dark ages. We are coming out of the dark ages. So many of us are carrying loads of trauma. I'm not saying we got to be responsible for people's stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But if it's showing up in my reality, if it's showing up here, then it is in my sphere of transformation. And the benefit of being someone who has the capacity, the know-how, the willingness, the connection to transform is that it is a very powerful position to be able to transform darkness into lighter frequencies through your own system, through your own awareness. And so the more light we hold, the more shadows will be cast. So it is not the funnest thing to do necessarily, but there is a real bit, because the rewards on the other side of it are tremendous. When it transforms, you literally get to see a whole new experience materialize right before you. And so the work is taking responsibility, loving yourself, being compassionate. Like I said, if you are someone who carries a great deal of feminine energy, you are a transformer. And for those who carry a great deal of masculine or fixed energy, they are the protectors of the realm so that the work of the transformation can be done. They are the ones who actually are to hold the space while the feminine goes into the dark, so like for me, when I'm going through this experience, I call one of my friends who can hold space for me, and literally, hi. The little baby just came over here. So funny. I call one of my friends, or somebody who can actually hold, somebody who can meet me where I am. Oh, look at that. He's coming to share something with me. Hello, look it. To lighten up and be like a child. Thank you so much. Godzilla is coming to transform it. Thank you. Who broke it? Okay. That is so beautiful. Oh, I'm so moved by that. Whew. The inner child work, because that's what I'm talking about, my inner child right now. And the universe just sent a baby over to say, and there he comes with a ball. Right? So that's what I'm saying. That's how the transformation happens. If I'm willing to hold in the feeling of, the disconnect, in the feeling of the fear, in the feeling of the terror, in the feeling of the vulnerability sometimes, and know that there is something greater at work here, and I'm not going to be, arrogant about it, or I might be arrogant, but I'm not going to live there. I'm going to take responsibility for that too, right? Because we are having a human experience, and sometimes my feelings are like, fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I have to honor all the parts of myself. But when I do it, the universe comes and gives me the sweetest, greatest confirmations that all is well. that I'm cared for and that I'm right where I'm meant to be. And this is not just true for me, this is true for us all. So with that, you all, the moon today is in Gemini. Pay attention to your mind. That's what I'm doing. I'm paying attention to my mind that wants to race into stories and judgment and chaos and confusion. They did this, they did, and I literally am saying, I trust and know that all the things my mind is saying are absolute lies. Because I know that there is something greater going on here. And I command that which is greater than this limited experience. I command it through love and compassion to transform everything into my highest, best, and good. Into the highest and best and good for everyone involved, not just me. For the highest and best for everyone involved. All right, you all. Watch your stories today. If you need any support, you can reach out at healwithmoonmama.com, healwithmoonmama.com, and book your natal chart readings or your coaching sessions. Any ways that I can support you, it's my pleasure to do so. Peace and blessings. Ashe. Thank you.